Hi guys, and welcome to another Fool of the Week. So you remember Brexit, the campaign that was based on the idea that if the UK left the European Union, it would be transformed into sunlit uplands, where borders would be secure, food would be cheaper, wages higher, and Britain would be leading the world with magnificent trade deals that the EU would be envying. It was all delivered via referendum where everybody knew exactly what they were voting for. One of the people who sold that dream was Andrea Jenkyns. Here she is calling for another referendum, this time to leave the ECHR. Can someone please make this all stop?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I understand the latest scheme that's been considered is to pay migrants thousands of pounds to leave Britain. Prime Minister, let's just leave the ECHR and deport them for free. So far, over 40,000 Brits have signed my petition with a Conservative post calling for us to leave the European Convention on Human Rights. Will the Prime Minister commit to leaving the ECHR, or at the very least, have it in our manifesto to have a referendum and let Britain decide?
Oh my goodness. And of course, Rishi Sunak replies with, yeah, well, we'll consider everything and our plan to get people to Rwanda is working and all this sort of rubbish. Okay, so here we have, once again, Brexiteers campaigning to take away rights from British people. Because what they try to do is they try to focus on immigration, when these are protections for British people. Now, some Tories have tried to get around this by saying, well, what we're going to do is introduce our own Bill of Rights that will protect people. But if the government is not respecting people's human rights, where can they go? With the European Convention on Human Rights, the European Court of Human Rights, if your human rights are being encroached upon, are not being protected, you have a higher court outside the UK to go to. This is what the Tories want to get rid of. This is what these headbangers want to get rid of. They don't really care about immigrants. It's about taking away rights from British people. Because that's what would happen. So anyone who's cheering this on is cheering on the fact that their rights would be taken away in order to punish a few asylum seekers. When it comes to Rwanda, we're talking about maybe 200 or 300 people max per year to be sent to Rwanda. And remember, they don't actually have any flights available because no airlines want to be involved with this. They don't want the bad press. They tried to organize with the RAF, and the RAF said, well, if you want to send asylum seekers, somebody's going to have to build a centre to facilitate this, and it's not coming out of our budget. And the Home Office don't want to spend the money. Nobody wants to spend the money on this. This is about taking away people's rights. Remember back in 2016, people like Andrea Jenkyns were saying, if we leave the European Union, we'll be able to control our borders. Well, why has no journalist called her out on that? You told people, if you leave the European Union, we'll be able to control our borders, stop all these immigrants coming in. Well, the number of immigrants has increased since 2016. So, in what way are you controlling your borders? She'll probably say, well, it's because the government aren't implementing Brexit correctly. So the people who campaigned and sold people the idea that they would be richer, that their borders would be controlled, that food would be cheaper, and all of these things, businesses would be able to thrive, have all been proven wrong. And now what are they doing? Instead of turning around and being honest, they're calling for another referendum. But this time it's about taking away rights from British people. First they came for your money, for your job, for your security. Now they're trying to come and take away your rights. Fool of the Week. See you next time for our next Fool of the Week.